Good evening, school board members. I am here tonight to do my job and to ask everyone else to do theirs. Nothing more, nothing less. We are in the business of education. It is the view of CTA and many others that this business is faltering and needs help. Not exclusively because of the inherent crisis and challenges associated with COVID-19, but because of a second crisis, a crisis of leadership within our school district. I have tried to voice these concerns for months through collegiality. I have spoken to district staff to try to voice the concerns of our teachers. Beyond that, I've continued to voice their concerns more authoritatively through direct communications and public comments. And today, I stand before you to continue to voice our concerns in an effort to continue to get positive change to make sure that our reopening is as successful as possible. In the past few months, our employees have been deceived, the public has been deceived, and even you, by your own admission on the school board, have been deceived in many cases. This is unacceptable. We have allowed the manufactured excuse that we do not have the time or ability to solve many legitimate problems in our reopening plan, an excuse born out of a conscious decision to ignore other possible options for the sake of expediency over efficacy. I reject this narrative. We did have time. The reality is that the district frittered it away over the summer instead of addressing many of the concerns that have only come to light publicly and been addressed in the past 2 to 3 weeks. We have inexplicably neglected to duplicate some of the most basic and achievable health and safety apparatuses seen in other districts across the country. We sat last week and joked about how we wish the school reopening plan were as detailed and articulate and clear-cut as the athletic department reopening plan. It is a shame that we know more, the public, the teachers, many other employees, about how best to utilize football field space than square footage in our classrooms to ensure safety for our students and our teachers. As leaders, we whisper our gravest concerns in the shadows and hedge our true feelings when presented the opportunity in the public to demand solutions to serious and undeniable problems. We have allowed political pressers to render us mute and blind to the obvious and undeniable holes in our reopening plan, holes that inevitably will lead to outcomes that are less safe than they ought to be. My greatest personal regret today, and I believe many of you share it, is that some of our unpreparedness has nothing to do with COVID and more to do with decisions that were made over the past few months or a lack of decisions that were made. The old saying goes, when you fail to prepare, you prepare to fail. I hear everyone's position tonight. I'll reiterate what I stated the last few times I spoke. I am here to do my job. My job is to keep the pressure on this district, this administration, and this superintendent, as well as you as school board members, to not accept anything less than our best and full effort to make sure school is safe, to make sure the education we provide is sound. I will continue to do that. It is not pleasant. I do not enjoy being this guy, but it is what I am paid to do, and if it produces positive results, you're rewarding my actions, so I'm going to continue to do them. That's just how positive reinforcement works. We all work with children. We know how that goes. So I stand before you again, asking for corrective actions to be made. Those actions are yours to make. If now is not the time, that is your decision. But again, as Dr. Robinson stated, there will be a time to reflect back on the decisions that have been made and determine whether or not appropriate action needs to be taken to hold individuals accountable, because in the schools, teachers are going to be held accountable, and in this building, everyone else should be held accountable as well. I thank you for your time. I stand in collaboration with all of you in an effort to try to make sure our reopening is as smooth as possible. Thank you.